Introduction. Welcome to your journey of self-discovery. This book invites you to explore the narratives you've inherited, stories that may have shaped your identity without you even realizing it. These beliefs can be so deeply rooted that they dictate how you see yourself and the world. As we embark on this exploration, we'll examine the shadows of your perceptions, those hidden beliefs that influence your life. By shining a light on these stories, you can begin to reclaim your power and reshape your reality. I will share practical tools and insights to help you shift your perspective and navigate this journey. I bring nearly a decade of experience as an energy worker and coach. My insights come from personal struggles and triumphs, not just theory. As you begin this new chapter, know that you're not alone. I'm here as a guide, committed to helping you find true happiness and purpose. My name is Mika. Since 2020, I've been a certified goal and happiness coach, focusing on understanding the human mind, which led me to become an NLP practitioner. My journey began earlier, in 2015, when I started to explore the forces of energy and universal laws that shape our lives. It was like uncovering the secrets of the universe that influence our experiences. In 2018, I embraced my role as a spiritual healer. Over time, I realized that we are all healers in our own right, and our experiences can help others heal. I've witnessed how connecting with our inner energy can lead to profound transformations from the inside out. Overcoming personal challenges, like homelessness, heartache, and lack of self-confidence, has taught me that we can rise above our past. Our experiences don't define us, they can empower us. I aim to share this knowledge with you to help you elevate your journey. Through this book, we will uncover the stories that have been passed down and how they affect your perceptions. Together, we will begin rewriting your narrative. This journey is about finding clarity and understanding your true self so you can live the life you envision. Here we are, ready to confront our lives and our place in the world. In our earliest moments, before we could speak, we were absorbing the stories of those around us. Our subconscious mind was a silent observer, absorbing everything and forming beliefs about life. As we grew, these beliefs became embedded in us, manifesting in our lives. We might look around and wonder why others seem to thrive while we struggle. This realization can lead to feelings of frustration and inadequacy. The stories we inherit can significantly influence our paths, often without our conscious awareness. Reflecting on my own journey, I can see how the stories I grew up with guided my choices. I faced the challenge of identifying limiting beliefs and reprogramming them. I'm here to tell you that transformation is possible. I was raised by a single mother who faced many challenges. Growing up in a crowded one-bedroom apartment, I learned to believe that scarcity was the norm. I internalized feelings of unworthiness and accepted that success was for others, not for me. My upbringing in a strict belief system taught me that suffering was a way to prove my worth. For years, I lived in fear, worrying that I wouldn't make the cut in life. It took me years to break free from this mindset. These inherited stories can hinder our growth, creating a divide between what we want and what we believe we can achieve. This internal conflict can be overwhelming, leaving us feeling lost and stuck. To navigate this, we must understand that beliefs are simply thoughts we've repeated until they feel true. The law of attraction shows us that our focus shapes our reality. The key to change lies in shifting that focus. Take a moment to consider, what stories have influenced your life? What beliefs are you holding on to? Are you ready to challenge and transform them? These reflections will guide you as you dive deeper into this book and your own story. Chapter 1. Understanding the Shadow. What is the shadow self? The shadow self is a concept rooted in Carl Jung's psychology. It describes the parts of ourselves that we hide, deny, or suppress. These hidden aspects are often ones we consider undesirable, traits like anger, jealousy, selfishness, or even vulnerability. The shadow isn't inherently negative, it's simply the parts of us we reject because they don't align with the image of who we think we should be. The shadow contains both light and dark elements. Often, some of our greatest gifts, such as creativity, assertiveness, or deep emotional capacity, lie hidden in the shadows because we've been conditioned to believe those traits are unacceptable. This part of ourselves lurks in the unconscious, influencing our actions and decisions, even though we're unaware of it. To truly grow and heal, we must face and integrate these hidden aspects. How the shadow forms. The shadow begins to develop in childhood, as we learn which behaviors and emotions are socially acceptable. Family, school, and society teach us that certain feelings or actions, like anger or sadness, are bad or unacceptable. In response, we bury these parts of ourselves. Over time, these repressed feelings become part of our shadow. Consider a child who is naturally expressive and creative but grows up in an environment that values order and discipline above all. The child may learn to suppress their creativity, internalizing the belief that it's frivolous or wrong. As a result, that creative energy becomes part of their shadow. The same happens with more painful aspects of ourselves. For example, a child who experiences rejection might bury feelings of worthlessness deep inside, believing they must be perfect to be loved. As adults, these buried emotions shape our relationships, career choices, and how we see ourselves, often leading to feelings of disconnection or self-sabotage. Signs the shadow is affecting you. The shadow doesn't stay hidden forever. Though we may push it down, it finds ways to show itself, often through emotional triggers or behavioral patterns. Here are some common signs that your shadow is at play. Emotional triggers. When something or someone provokes a strong emotional reaction in you, especially out of proportion to the situation, it's often a sign that your shadow is being activated. For example, if a friend's success triggers feelings of envy or inadequacy, it might indicate that you've buried your own unmet ambitions in the shadow. Patterns of self-sabotage. Repeatedly engaging in behaviors that prevent you from achieving your goals, like procrastinating, sabotaging relationships, or avoiding opportunities, can be a sign of unresolved shadow material. The shadow may hold unconscious beliefs, such as feeling unworthy of success, which manifest in actions that hinder growth. Projection onto others. Often, the qualities we dislike or judge in others are reflections of traits we haven't accepted within ourselves. This is known as projection. If you find yourself frequently criticizing others for being selfish, for example, it may be that you have denied your own need for self-care or boundary setting. Addictive behaviors. Whether it's overworking, overeating, or other forms of avoidance, addictive behaviors are often ways of numbing or distracting ourselves from the shadow. These behaviors can provide temporary relief from confronting the parts of ourselves we find difficult to face. In summary, the shadow forms as we suppress parts of ourselves to fit into societal molds. Yet these hidden aspects don't disappear. They influence our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, often in subtle but powerful ways. By recognizing the signs that the shadow is at play, we can begin the journey of self-discovery and healing, embracing the full spectrum of who we are. The shadow isn't always made up of negative qualities. Positive traits, such as strength, confidence, or assertiveness, can also be repressed if they were discouraged in your upbringing. For example, if a child was frequently told to be quiet or not take up space, they might suppress their natural ability to speak up for themselves or be a leader. Over time, these positive aspects, too, become hidden in the shadows. In adulthood, these suppressed qualities can show up in moments of insecurity or anxiety. You might struggle to express yourself, fear failure, or constantly seek external validation. The good news is that these parts of you don't disappear. They remain waiting to be acknowledged, healed, and reintegrated. Signs the shadow is affecting you. Repetitive relationship patterns. Are you noticing the same kinds of problems in your relationships, whether romantic, familial, or friendships? Recurrent issues, like attracting emotionally unavailable partners or frequently getting into power struggles, often indicate that unhealed shadow material is playing out through your interactions with others. This is especially common in romantic relationships, where unresolved emotional wounds from childhood can resurface. Fear of vulnerability or authenticity. If you find it difficult to open up, ask for help, or show your true feelings, it may be that vulnerability itself is part of your shadow. Many of us learn that showing emotion is a sign of weakness, so we bury those feelings deep inside, creating an emotional wall. This disconnection can leave us feeling isolated or misunderstood. Physical manifestations of unhealed emotions. Sometimes, the body holds the key to what the mind tries to ignore. Repressed emotions can manifest physically as chronic pain, tension, or illness. For example, persistent neck or shoulder pain might correspond to a burden you carry emotionally, while digestive issues can indicate an inability to digest or process certain life experiences. The body often signals where the shadow is hiding when the mind cannot. Recognizing these signs is the first step to bringing the shadow into conscious awareness. Once we acknowledge these parts of ourselves, we can begin to work with them, rather than allowing them to unconsciously run our lives. Shadow work. Why it's essential for healing. Shadow work is the process of consciously uncovering, acknowledging, and integrating the hidden aspects of ourselves. While it can be uncomfortable, it's also profoundly healing. By facing the shadow, we no longer need to deny or suppress parts of ourselves. Instead, we learn to embrace the full spectrum of who we are, reclaiming the energy that was once spent hiding. One of the most powerful outcomes of shadow work is freedom. When we stop running from our shadow, we stop being controlled by it. We no longer project our insecurities onto others, repeat self-sabotaging patterns, or live in fear of our imperfections. Instead, we learn to accept ourselves as whole and complex beings. Another key benefit of shadow work is the capacity for deeper relationships. When we embrace our own shadows, we become more compassionate and understanding toward others. We no longer judge others harshly for qualities we've rejected in ourselves. This leads to healthier, more authentic connections based on acceptance, rather than fear or judgment. Why do we fear the shadow? Despite the benefits, most of us avoid the shadow out of fear. This fear often stems from childhood conditioning, where we learn that certain behaviors or emotions are unacceptable. Over time, we came to believe that confronting these parts of ourselves would lead to rejection, shame, or isolation. The shadow also frightens us because it holds powerful emotions, anger, grief, sadness, that we may not want to relive. However, when we allow ourselves to feel these emotions, we release their hold on us. As the old saying goes, what we resist, persists. By confronting the shadow, we stop resisting our true selves and make room for healing. Embracing the shadow also means facing uncertainty. Many people fear that if they start digging into their unconscious, they'll discover something bad or unredeemable about themselves. But in reality, the shadow often holds some of our greatest potential. It is in the parts we've buried that we find our true power, creativity, and freedom. Exercises for identifying your shadow. Here are some practical exercises you can use to begin exploring your shadow. 1. Shadow journaling. Start by reflecting on your emotional triggers. Write down a recent experience where you felt strong emotions like anger, jealousy, or sadness. Ask yourself, what about this situation made me feel this way? Is there a pattern in these kinds of reactions? What part of myself am I uncomfortable with or rejecting at this moment? Journaling can help uncover recurring themes or feelings tied to the shadow. 2. Exploring projections. Think of a person you dislike or frequently criticize. What traits do they embody that irritate you? Now, turn inward and ask yourself, do I possess some of these qualities, even if I suppress or deny them? Often, the very traits we reject in others are a mirror for the parts of ourselves we haven't accepted. 3. Embracing emotional triggers. The next time you feel triggered by a person or situation, pause before reacting. Notice the emotion that arises and try to sit with it, without judgment. Ask yourself, what part of me is being activated right now? Instead of suppressing the feeling, let it surface, and explore its deeper meaning. 4. Visualization and inner dialogue. A powerful way to work with the shadow is through visualization. Close your eyes and imagine yourself sitting across from your shadow. This could be a figure or an abstract representation. Ask the shadow what it wants or needs from you. This dialogue can help reveal what has been suppressed and give voice to the unacknowledged parts of yourself. By completing these exercises, you'll begin to form a relationship with your shadow, one built on curiosity, compassion, and self-acceptance. Remember, the goal of shadow work isn't to get rid of these parts but to understand and integrate them. The more we learn about our shadow, the more we unlock our hidden potential. Chapter 2. Storytelling and the Shadow. The power of personal stories. Our lives are shaped by the stories we tell ourselves. From a young age, we begin to weave narratives about who we are, what we're capable of, and how the world sees us. These stories are influenced by our families, cultures, and personal experiences, but they're not always accurate reflections of reality. Instead, they are often filtered through the lens of our unhealed wounds and unresolved emotions. As we grow older, these stories become ingrained, guiding our choices and actions, sometimes without us even realizing it. They form the foundation of our self-concept and can either empower or limit us. For example, if you were told as a child that you were too sensitive, you might develop a story that equates sensitivity with weakness. This story may lead you to suppress your emotions, avoid vulnerability, or deny your need for support. Similarly, if you grew up believing that success comes only through struggle and hardship, you may unconsciously create obstacles for yourself, reinforcing a narrative of limitation. In the context of shadow work, these personal stories are vital because they often reveal the parts of ourselves we've rejected. The shadow hides within these narratives, shaping how we perceive ourselves and the world around us. By examining and rewriting our stories, we can begin to free ourselves from the limiting beliefs that keep our shadows hidden. Inherited stories and ancestral shadows. Beyond the stories we create for ourselves, we also carry the stories of our ancestors. These are the unspoken, often unconscious, beliefs and patterns passed down through generations, sometimes referred to as ancestral shadows. These inherited stories can shape our behavior, relationships, and even our sense of identity, without us realizing their origin. Ancestral shadows often come in the form of limiting beliefs or unresolved traumas. For example, if your family has a history of financial struggle, you might inherit beliefs around money that limit your ability to experience abundance. Or, if your ancestors experienced displacement or trauma, you might carry feelings of rootlessness or fear that seem to have no direct cause in your own life. These ancestral stories and shadows are embedded in our family's cultures and traditions, but they are often silent, unspoken burdens. Recognizing and healing these inherited patterns is a powerful aspect of shadow work, allowing us to break cycles of trauma and limitation. Exercises to uncover inherited stories. 1. Family tree exploration. Take a moment to map out your family tree. As you reflect on the lives of your parents, grandparents, and even great-grandparents, consider the challenges they faced. What patterns do you see? Are there recurring themes of loss, struggle, or resilience? These themes can point to ancestral shadows that may be influencing your life. 2. Inherited beliefs journaling. Reflect on the beliefs your family held about key areas of life: money, love, success, health, and spirituality. Write down the common messages you received from your family about these topics. Ask yourself, which of these beliefs do I agree with? Which ones feel limiting or outdated? How might these beliefs have shaped my choices and behaviors? 3. Ancestral meditation. In a quiet space, close your eyes and imagine a gathering of your ancestors. As you visualize them, ask for guidance on understanding the stories you've inherited. Pay attention to any images, feelings, or thoughts that arise during this meditation. This practice can help bring awareness to the unconscious patterns passed down through generations. Rewriting your narrative. Once you've begun to uncover both your personal and ancestral stories, the next step is to rewrite them. This process involves consciously shifting your perspective from one of limitation to one of empowerment. You are not bound by the stories you've inherited or created. You have the power to transform them. Rewriting your narrative means reclaiming the parts of yourself that you've hidden in the shadows. For example, if your story has always been, "I'm not good enough," ask yourself where that belief came from. Was it based on a single experience or a pattern of external validation? Challenge that story by exploring moments in your life when you were good enough, when you succeeded despite your fears. As you rewrite your narrative, you may also find that some of the qualities you've suppressed in the shadow, like confidence, ambition, or creativity, are ready to emerge. These aspects of yourself have been waiting for permission to be expressed. By creating a new, more empowering story, you allow these parts to come into the light. Exercises for rewriting your narrative. 1. Challenge limiting beliefs. Write down one of your limiting beliefs, such as, "I'm not creative," or "I'm not worthy of love." Now, find evidence from your life that contradicts this belief. For example, you might remember times when you engaged in a creative project or received love and validation from others. Write these examples down as proof that your limiting belief is not the whole truth. 2. Future self-visualization. Close your eyes and imagine the version of yourself who has fully integrated their shadow, healed old wounds, and rewritten their story. Visualize how this future version of you lives, behaves, and interacts with others. How do they speak to themselves? What new beliefs have they embraced? Use this visualization to inspire your new narrative. 3. Affirmation writing. Create a new affirmation that reflects your rewritten narrative. For example, if your old story was, "I'm not good enough," your new affirmation might be, "I am worthy, just as I am." Repeat this affirmation daily, allowing it to replace the old limiting belief with a new, empowering story. Embracing your shadow story. As you explore and rewrite your personal and ancestral stories, it's important to remember that shadow work isn't about erasing the past. Instead, it's about embracing the full complexity of your story, both the light and the shadow. Your shadows are part of your unique story, and they hold valuable lessons for your growth and healing. By embracing your shadow story, you gain the freedom to live authentically, without fear of judgment or rejection. You stop hiding from the parts of yourself that you once deemed unacceptable and begin to see them as essential aspects of your journey. Rewriting your narrative is a powerful act of reclamation. It allows you to take control of your story, transforming pain into power and limitation into possibility. Through this process, you not only heal your own wounds but also free future generations from the shadows of the past. Chapter 3. Tools for Shadow Work. Engaging in shadow work can be a profound journey of self-discovery and healing, but it can also be challenging and sometimes overwhelming. To navigate this path effectively, it's essential to have the right tools and practices that support your exploration and integration of the shadow. In this chapter, we'll explore various techniques and approaches to help you embark on your shadow work journey with confidence. 1. Journaling. Journaling is one of the most powerful tools for shadow work. It allows you to process thoughts, emotions, and experiences in a safe space, providing clarity and insight. Here are some journaling techniques to consider. Stream of consciousness writing. Set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes and write without stopping. Allow your thoughts to flow freely without judgment. This technique can help you uncover feelings or thoughts that might be lurking in your subconscious. Prompted journaling. Use specific prompts to explore your shadow. Some examples include: what emotions do I often suppress? What triggers me in others, and why? What parts of myself do I struggle to accept? Dialoguing with the shadow. Write a conversation between yourself and your shadow. Allow your shadow to voice its feelings, fears, and desires. This technique helps give the shadow a voice and fosters understanding. 2. Meditation and mindfulness. Meditation and mindfulness practices can help create a deeper connection with your inner self, allowing you to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. These practices can also cultivate self-awareness and acceptance, essential components of shadow work. Set aside time to sit quietly and focus on your breath. Notice any thoughts or emotions that arise without trying to change them. Acknowledge these feelings and let them pass without attaching any labels. This practice fosters awareness of your inner landscape, making it easier to identify shadow elements. Guided visualization. Use guided meditations that focus on integrating the shadow. Visualize meeting your shadow self and engaging in a dialogue. Ask your shadow questions, and listen to its responses. This technique helps build rapport with the shadow, facilitating integration. 3. Creative expression. Creative expression can be a powerful way to explore and release shadow aspects. Engaging in artistic activities allows you to bypass the conscious mind, tapping into the deeper layers of your psyche. Art therapy. Use drawing, painting, or sculpting as a means to express feelings or emotions associated with your shadow. Create without judgment. Focus on the process rather than the outcome. This can be a cathartic way to visualize and confront hidden emotions. Movement and dance. Engage in free movement or dance to express emotions physically. Allow your body to move in a way that feels natural, releasing pent-up energy associated with the shadow. This practice promotes emotional release and body awareness. 4. Shadow work workshops and groups. Connecting with others on the same journey can provide support and validation. Consider participating in workshops or group sessions focused on shadow work. Community support. Sharing your experiences with like-minded individuals can foster connection and understanding. Group discussions often reveal shared struggles, creating a sense of belonging and reducing feelings of isolation. Facilitated workshops. Look for workshops led by experienced facilitators who specialize in shadow work. These workshops often provide structured activities and guidance, helping participants navigate their shadows in a safe environment. 5. Professional support. Sometimes, the journey into the shadow can bring up deep-seated traumas or unresolved emotions that require professional support. Seeking help from a therapist or counselor can provide valuable insights and guidance. Therapy options. Consider types of therapy that focus on integrating the shadow, such as Jungian therapy, somatic therapy, or art therapy. These approaches can facilitate deeper exploration and healing. Support groups. Joining a support group focused on trauma or personal growth can provide a safe space for sharing and healing. The collective experience of others can often illuminate your own journey. Conclusion. Embracing the journey. As you begin to incorporate these tools into your shadow work practice, remember that the journey is unique to you. There's no right or wrong way to approach your shadow. What matters most is your willingness to engage with your inner self with curiosity and compassion. Shadow work is not about achieving perfection or eliminating the shadow. Rather, it's about embracing the entirety of who you are. Each tool offers a different pathway for exploration, so feel free to experiment and find what resonates with you. As you embark on this journey, be gentle with yourself. It's okay to take breaks, seek support, or step back when things become overwhelming. The process of integration takes time, and your commitment to self-discovery will lead to profound transformation. In the next chapter, we will delve into the themes of forgiveness and acceptance, exploring how these elements are essential in the process of shadow integration. By learning to forgive ourselves and others, we can release the burdens of the past and create space for healing and growth. Chapter 4. Forgiveness and Acceptance. The role of forgiveness in shadow work. Forgiveness is a powerful tool in the process of shadow work. It allows us to release the emotional weight we carry from past experiences, whether they involve ourselves or others. Forgiveness does not mean condoning harmful actions or forgetting the pain we've experienced. Rather, it is a conscious choice to let go of resentment and anger. In the context of shadow work, forgiveness plays a critical role in healing the wounds that contribute to our shadow. When we hold on to grudges or feelings of betrayal, we inadvertently keep those experiences alive in our psyche, allowing them to dictate our thoughts and behaviors. By choosing to forgive, we create space for healing and integration. Understanding self-forgiveness. One of the most challenging forms of forgiveness is self-forgiveness. Many people struggle to forgive themselves for past mistakes, missed opportunities, or perceived failures. This inability to forgive can create a cycle of self-judgment, shame, and guilt, keeping us trapped in our shadows. Self-forgiveness requires acknowledging our humanity and understanding that we are all imperfect beings who make mistakes. It involves recognizing the lessons learned from our experiences and allowing ourselves to move forward with compassion. Exercises for practicing self-forgiveness. 1. Self-compassion letter. Write a letter to yourself expressing compassion and understanding for your past mistakes. Acknowledge the pain you experienced and validate your feelings. Offer yourself the kindness you would extend to a friend in a similar situation. This exercise helps shift the inner narrative from self-criticism to self-compassion. 2. Forgiveness meditation. Sit quietly and focus on your breath. Visualize a situation where you feel guilt or shame. Picture yourself in that moment, and allow yourself to feel the emotions without judgment. After acknowledging the pain, imagine offering yourself forgiveness. Repeat a mantra such as, "I forgive myself for my past actions. I am learning and growing." 3. List of mistakes. Create a list of past mistakes or choices you regret. Next to each entry, write down the lessons you learned from those experiences. This practice helps reframe your mistakes as opportunities for growth, making it easier to forgive yourself. Forgiving others. Forgiveness isn't just about forgiving ourselves. It also involves letting go of grudges we hold against others. Holding onto resentment toward those who have hurt us can trap us in the past and prevent us from moving forward. Just like self-forgiveness, forgiving others is an act of liberation. When we carry anger or resentment, we often find ourselves projecting these feelings onto others or onto new situations. This projection can lead to unhealthy relationship patterns and hinder our ability to connect with others authentically. By choosing to forgive, we free ourselves from the emotional burden of past grievances. Exercises for forgiving others. 1. Forgiveness ritual. Create a small ritual to symbolize your intention to forgive someone. This could involve writing their name on a piece of paper, expressing your feelings, and then burning or burying the paper as a symbolic act of letting go. This ritual can help create closure and signal your commitment to forgiveness. 2. Empathy exercise. Think of a person who has hurt you. Try to understand their perspective and the motivations behind their actions. Consider what struggles or pain they might be experiencing. Cultivating empathy can help soften feelings of anger and make forgiveness feel more attainable. 3. Visualization of release. Close your eyes and visualize the person you wish to forgive. Imagine sending them love and understanding while simultaneously releasing any negativity you hold toward them. Picture the emotional cord connecting you dissolving, freeing you from the burden of resentment. The power of acceptance. Acceptance is a crucial aspect of the shadow work process. It involves acknowledging all parts of ourselves, including those we deem undesirable. Acceptance does not equate to approval. Instead, it means recognizing our experiences, emotions, and shadows without judgment. When we practice acceptance, we allow ourselves to be fully human. We embrace the entirety of our experiences, the joys, the pains, the successes, and the failures. This acceptance creates a foundation for healing and integration, enabling us to move forward without the weight of self-rejection. Acceptance and the shadow. Acceptance plays a vital role in how we relate to our shadow. Instead of viewing the shadow as something to be ashamed of or eliminated, we learn to see it as an integral part of ourselves. This shift in perspective allows us to integrate the shadow rather than push it away. For instance, if you've hidden aspects of your personality, such as anger or jealousy, you might initially feel resistance when these emotions surface. However, by accepting these feelings as valid expressions of your humanity, you create space for healing. Acceptance allows us to learn from our emotions rather than be controlled by them. Exercises for cultivating acceptance. 1. Mindful observation. Practice mindful observation of your thoughts and emotions. When uncomfortable feelings arise, notice them without trying to change or suppress them. Simply observe and acknowledge their presence. This practice can help develop a sense of acceptance toward your emotional experiences. 2. Affirmations of acceptance. Create affirmations that focus on self-acceptance, such as, "I accept myself as I am, flaws and all," or, "I honor my feelings and allow them to exist." Repeat these affirmations daily to reinforce the message of acceptance. 3. Embracing imperfection. Reflect on areas of your life where you seek perfection. Write down how this desire for perfection manifests in your thoughts and actions. Then, challenge yourself to embrace imperfection in these areas. This could involve setting realistic goals or allowing yourself to make mistakes. Conclusion: the freedom of forgiveness and acceptance. Forgiveness and acceptance are essential components of shadow work. They create a safe space for healing and integration, allowing us to confront the shadow without fear or judgment. By embracing these practices, we empower ourselves to release the emotional burdens of the past and move toward a more authentic, empowered existence. As we navigate our shadows with forgiveness and acceptance, we unlock the door to deeper self-love and compassion. In the next chapter, we will explore the concept of integration, how to weave the lessons and insights gained from shadow work into our everyday lives, allowing us to live more fully and authentically. Chapter 5. Integration. Weaving the shadow into the light. Understanding integration. Integration is the process of bringing the lessons and insights gained from shadow work into our everyday lives. It involves accepting and embracing all aspects of ourselves, the light and the shadow, and learning how to harmonize these elements to create a more authentic and fulfilling existence. Many people mistakenly believe that the goal of shadow work is to eliminate the shadow. However, the true aim is to recognize the shadow as a vital part of our identity and to integrate its lessons into our conscious awareness. This integration allows us to live more fully and authentically, free from the unconscious patterns that once governed our behavior. The journey of integration. The journey of integration is not linear, it's a continuous process of growth and self-discovery. As we navigate our shadows, we will encounter various aspects of ourselves that require attention and understanding. Integration involves 1. Recognizing patterns. By paying attention to recurring patterns in our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, we can identify areas where our shadows may still exert influence. For instance, if you notice a tendency to self-sabotage when approaching a new opportunity, this awareness can guide you toward a deeper exploration of the underlying beliefs or fears at play. 2. Taking responsibility. Integration requires taking responsibility for our feelings, actions, and choices. This doesn't mean blaming ourselves for past mistakes. Instead, it's about recognizing that we have the power to change how we respond to life moving forward. Acknowledging our role in shaping our experiences empowers us to take ownership of our journey. 3. Creating new narratives. Integration allows us to rewrite the narratives we've held about ourselves. By reframing our experiences and acknowledging the lessons learned, we can cultivate a more empowering story that honors both our light and shadow. This new narrative becomes the foundation for our growth and transformation. Practices for integration. 1. Reflective journaling. After completing a period of shadow work, spend time journaling about your experiences. Reflect on what you've learned about yourself, the emotions you've processed, and the insights gained. Use this reflection to identify ways to incorporate these lessons into your daily life. 2. Setting intentions. As you integrate your shadow lessons, set clear intentions for how you wish to live moving forward. These intentions could relate to your relationships, career, or personal growth. Write them down and revisit them regularly to remind yourself of your commitment to living authentically. 3. Mindful awareness. Cultivate mindful awareness in your daily life. Pay attention to your thoughts, emotions, and reactions as they arise. When faced with challenges, take a moment to check in with yourself and ask, what shadow aspects may be influencing my response? This awareness allows you to respond consciously rather than react unconsciously. Living authentically. Integration leads to a more authentic way of living. When we embrace both our light and shadow, we become more whole and empowered. Living authentically means expressing our true selves, free from the constraints of fear, shame, or societal expectations. This authenticity allows us to build deeper connections with others, as we no longer feel the need to hide parts of ourselves. By being genuine, we create space for others to be authentic as well, fostering a culture of acceptance and understanding. The ripple effect of integration. As we integrate our shadow, we also create a ripple effect in our relationships and communities. By embodying authenticity, we inspire those around us to embark on their journeys of self-discovery and healing. This collective healing creates a more compassionate and understanding world, where shadows are acknowledged and accepted. Consider the impact of your journey on those you love. As you become more comfortable with your shadows, you may find that you approach conflicts with greater empathy and understanding. You may also develop healthier boundaries, which can foster healthier relationships. Challenges in the integration process. The path to integration is not without its challenges. We may face resistance from within or encounter external pressures that make it difficult to stay true to our authentic selves. It's essential to recognize that these challenges are part of the process. When faced with setbacks or moments of doubt, remind yourself that integration is ongoing. Give yourself permission to take breaks or seek support when needed. Surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage your journey, and remember that healing is not a destination but a lifelong process. Conclusion. Embracing wholeness. Integration is the culmination of shadow work, a process of weaving the lessons learned from our shadows into the fabric of our daily lives. As we embrace wholeness, we allow ourselves to be fully present in each moment, unburdened by past traumas or limiting beliefs. In the next chapter, we will explore the theme of transformation. We'll discuss how the insights gained from shadow work can lead to profound personal growth, as well as practical steps to continue evolving and expanding in our journey of self-discovery. Chapter 6. Transformation. The alchemy of shadow work. The essence of transformation. Transformation is the ultimate goal of shadow work. It's the alchemical process of taking the raw materials of our experiences, including pain, fear, and shame, and transmuting them into wisdom, strength, and authenticity. This journey of transformation enables us to grow beyond our past limitations and emerge as more integrated, empowered versions of ourselves. While the process of transformation may initially feel daunting, it is ultimately a profound gift. By facing our shadows, we unlock the potential for deep personal growth, healing, and a richer understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. Recognizing the signs of transformation. Transformation often manifests in subtle yet powerful ways. Here are some signs that you may be undergoing a transformative process through your shadow work. 1. Increased self-awareness. You may find that you are more in tune with your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. This heightened self-awareness allows you to recognize patterns that once went unnoticed and allows you to respond consciously. 2. Shifts in relationships. As you work through your shadows, you may notice changes in your relationships. You might begin to attract healthier connections or find that certain relationships no longer serve you. This process of reevaluating connections is a sign of growth and a move toward authenticity. 3. Emotional resilience. You may find yourself better equipped to handle challenges and setbacks. The insights gained from shadow work can enhance your emotional resilience, allowing you to navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease. 4. A sense of purpose. Transformation often leads to a clearer sense of purpose and direction. As you integrate the lessons of your shadow, you may find that your passions and values become more defined, guiding you toward a more fulfilling path. 5. Increased compassion. A transformative journey often fosters greater compassion for yourself and others. As you embrace your shadows, you cultivate an understanding of the shared human experience, leading to deeper connections and empathy. Embracing the process of transformation. Transformation is not a one-time event, it's an ongoing process that unfolds over time. Embracing this process involves 1. Patience and self-compassion. Understand that transformation takes time. Be patient with yourself as you navigate this journey, and practice self-compassion along the way. Allow yourself to experience the full range of emotions that arise, knowing that they are part of your growth. 2. Integration of lessons. As you gain insights from your shadow work, actively integrate these lessons into your daily life. This could involve setting intentions, adjusting your goals, or shifting your perspectives. The more you practice integrating your lessons, the more profound your transformation will be. 3. Celebrating milestones. Acknowledge and celebrate your growth along the way. Take time to reflect on how far you've come and the changes you've made. Recognizing these milestones can provide motivation and reinforce your commitment to the transformative process. Tools for continued transformation. 1. Vision boards. Create a vision board that represents your goals, dreams, and the person you wish to become. Use images, words, and symbols that inspire you. A vision board serves as a visual reminder of your aspirations and can help keep you focused on your transformative journey. 2. Affirmations. Develop positive affirmations that reflect your desired transformation. These affirmations can serve as daily reminders of your commitment to growth and empowerment. Repeat them regularly to reinforce positive beliefs about yourself and your journey. 3. Continued learning. Commit to lifelong learning as part of your transformation. Seek out books, workshops, or courses that resonate with your journey. Expanding your knowledge and skills can foster further growth and deepen your understanding of yourself. 4. Engaging with the community. Connect with others who are also on a journey of transformation. Share your experiences, insights, and challenges with a supportive community. Engaging with like-minded individuals can provide encouragement, accountability, and a sense of belonging. Transformative experiences. Transformation can arise from various experiences, both big and small. Some common transformative experiences include personal crises. Moments of crisis can serve as catalysts for transformation. These experiences often force us to confront our shadows, leading to profound growth and insight. Transitions. Life transitions, such as moving, changing careers, or entering new relationships, can trigger opportunities for transformation. Embracing these transitions with an open mind allows us to evolve and adapt. Mindfulness practices. Engaging in mindfulness practices, such as meditation, yoga, or breathwork, can facilitate transformation by fostering self-awareness and presence. These practices help ground us in the present moment, enabling us to navigate change with clarity. Conclusion. Becoming the alchemist. The journey of transformation is a beautiful alchemical process that enables us to transmute the challenges of our past into the gold of personal growth and empowerment. By embracing our shadows and integrating the lessons they offer, we become the alchemists of our own lives. As we continue on this journey, We honor the complexity of our experiences and the richness they bring to our existence. In the final chapter, we will explore the theme of embracing our stories, the narratives we create around our lives, and how these stories shape our identity, beliefs, and connection to the world. Chapter 7. Embracing Our Stories. The Power of Narratives. The role of storytelling in our lives. From the moment we are born, we are immersed in stories, those of our families, cultures, and societies. These narratives shape our identities, beliefs, and perceptions of the world. Storytelling is a powerful tool for understanding our experiences and making sense of the complexities of life. Embracing our stories allows us to reclaim our narratives and honor our journeys. By examining the tales we tell ourselves, we gain insight into how these narratives influence our actions, choices, and relationships. The impact of our personal narratives. Our narratives are the stories we tell ourselves about who we are and what we have experienced. These narratives can be empowering or limiting, depending on how we choose to frame our experiences. Here are some ways our narratives can impact our lives. 1. Identity formation. The stories we tell shape our sense of identity. For instance, if we see ourselves as resilient individuals who overcome challenges, we are more likely to approach difficulties with confidence and determination. Conversely, if we view ourselves as victims of circumstance, we may feel powerless to change our situation. 2. Influence on beliefs. Our narratives inform our beliefs about ourselves and the world. A narrative rooted in self-doubt may lead to limiting beliefs that hinder our potential. By reframing our stories, we can shift our beliefs to align with our true potential and aspirations. 3. Connection to others. Sharing our stories fosters connection and empathy. When we open up about our experiences, we create space for others to relate and share their own narratives. This vulnerability strengthens relationships and builds a sense of community. 4. Coping mechanism. Narratives serve as coping mechanisms in times of adversity. When we face challenges, our stories can provide context and meaning, helping us navigate difficult emotions and experiences. The process of rewriting our stories. Rewriting our stories is a crucial aspect of shadow work and transformation. It involves examining our past experiences, challenging limiting beliefs, and reframing our narratives to align with our authentic selves. Here are steps to facilitate this process. 1. Identify limiting narratives. Begin by identifying the stories that hold you back. Reflect on areas of your life where you feel stuck or restricted. What narratives do you tell yourself in these situations? Write them down to gain clarity. 2. Challenge the narratives. Once you've identified limiting narratives, challenge their validity. Ask yourself questions such as: is this story based on objective truth, or is it influenced by fear or past experiences? How does this narrative serve me, and how does it hold me back? What evidence exists that contradicts this narrative? 3. Reframe the story. After challenging the narrative, reframe it to reflect a more empowering perspective. For instance, if your limiting narrative is, "I always fail," consider reframing it to, "I learn and grow from every experience." This reframing shifts the focus from failure to growth and resilience. 4. Create a new narrative. Craft a new narrative that embodies your values, aspirations, and authentic self. This narrative should inspire and empower you. Write it down and revisit it regularly to reinforce your commitment to this new story. The healing power of sharing stories. Sharing our stories can be a profound healing experience. By expressing our narratives, we can release pent-up emotions and foster connection with others. Here are some ways to engage in storytelling as a healing practice. 1. Journaling. Writing in a journal allows for self-reflection and expression. Use journaling to explore your thoughts, emotions, and experiences. Consider writing about pivotal moments in your life and how they have shaped your current narrative. 2. Story circles. Engage in story circles with trusted friends or support groups. Share your stories in a safe and supportive environment, and invite others to share theirs. This practice fosters connection, empathy, and mutual understanding. 3. Creative expression. Explore creative outlets such as art, music, or performance to express your story. Creative expression allows for a deeper exploration of emotions and experiences, providing a cathartic release. The collective narrative. As we embrace our individual stories, we also recognize the power of collective narratives. Collective narratives reflect the shared experiences and histories of communities, cultures, and societies. Engaging with these narratives can deepen our understanding of our place in the world and the interconnectedness of our journeys. 1. Cultural narratives. Explore the stories of your cultural heritage. What narratives have been passed down through generations? How do these stories shape your identity and beliefs? Embracing cultural narratives can foster a sense of belonging and connection to your roots. 2. Historical context. Consider the historical narratives that impact your community or society. How do these narratives shape collective beliefs and behaviors? Engaging with historical context can provide insight into current issues and inspire collective action for change. Conclusion. The power of embracing our stories. Embracing our stories empowers us to reclaim our narratives and honor our journeys. By examining and rewriting our personal narratives, we can transcend limiting beliefs and cultivate a deeper connection to our authentic selves. As we share our stories, we create a tapestry of shared experiences that fosters connection, empathy, and healing. In our final chapter, we will explore the importance of self-love and compassion on our journey of shadow work. We'll discuss practical steps to cultivate a loving relationship with ourselves, ensuring that we move forward with kindness and grace as we continue our journey of self-discovery and growth. Chapter 8. Self-love and compassion. The foundation of healing. The essence of self-love. Self-love is the cornerstone of personal growth and healing. It is the practice of recognizing our worth, embracing our imperfections, and treating ourselves with kindness and compassion. In the context of shadow work, self-love is crucial for nurturing the insights gained from our exploration of the shadow and supporting our journey toward integration and transformation. Many of us struggle with self-love, often placing our worth in the hands of external validation or societal expectations. However, true self-love begins from within. It is an inner commitment to honor ourselves and acknowledge our unique journeys, including the shadows we carry. The importance of compassion in shadow work. Compassion plays a vital role in the process of healing and self-discovery. It allows us to approach ourselves with understanding rather than judgment, creating a safe space for exploration and growth. Here are some key aspects of compassion in the context of shadow work. 1. Embracing imperfection. Compassion encourages us to accept our imperfections and mistakes as part of the human experience. Instead of striving for perfection, we learn to appreciate our efforts and recognize that growth often emerges from challenges. 2. Cultivating non-judgment. Practicing compassion involves letting go of self-criticism and judgment. When we encounter difficult emotions or aspects of ourselves, we can choose to respond with kindness rather than harshness. This shift allows for deeper understanding and healing. 3. Fostering resilience. Compassion strengthens our resilience in the face of adversity. By treating ourselves with love and understanding, we create a foundation that supports us during challenging times. This resilience allows us to navigate our shadows with grace and patience. Practical steps to cultivate self-love. 1. Practice positive self-talk. Be mindful of the language you use when speaking to yourself. Replace negative self-talk with positive affirmations that reflect your worth and capabilities. For example, instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," try, "I am worthy and capable of growth." 2. Set boundaries. Establish healthy boundaries that honor your needs and well-being. Saying no when necessary and prioritizing self-care are acts of self-love. Setting boundaries helps protect your energy and allows you to nurture your inner self. 3. Engage in self-care rituals. Create rituals that nurture your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. This could include practices such as meditation, yoga, spending time in nature, or engaging in hobbies that bring you joy. Prioritize activities that replenish your energy and promote relaxation. 4. Reflect on your journey. Take time to reflect on your experiences and growth. Acknowledge the challenges you've overcome and the lessons you've learned. Journaling about your journey can provide insight into your resilience and the strength you possess. 5. Surround yourself with positivity. Surround yourself with people and influences that uplift and inspire you. Engage with communities that promote self-love and healing. Distance yourself from negativity or environments that undermine your sense of worth. The journey of forgiveness. Forgiveness is an essential aspect of self-love and compassion. It allows us to release the burdens of past grievances and cultivate a sense of peace. In the context of shadow work, forgiveness is not just about forgiving others. It is also about forgiving ourselves for the mistakes we have made. 1. Acknowledging hurt. To begin the process of forgiveness, we must first acknowledge the hurt we have experienced. This includes recognizing the impact of our past choices and the shadows we carry. Allow yourself to feel the emotions associated with this hurt. 2. Choosing to forgive. Forgiveness is a conscious choice. It does not mean condoning harmful behavior or forgetting the past. Rather, it involves letting go of the hold that resentment and anger have over us. When we choose to forgive, we reclaim our power and emotional well-being. 3. Practicing self-forgiveness. Extend the same compassion to yourself that you would offer to a friend. Reflect on your mistakes, learn from them, and release the guilt or shame associated with them. Self-forgiveness is a powerful act of self-love that allows for healing and growth. Living from a place of self-love. As we cultivate self-love and compassion, we shift our focus from surviving to thriving. Living from a place of self-love empowers us to embrace our authentic selves, pursue our passions, and create meaningful connections with others. Here are some ways to embody self-love in your daily life. 1. Embrace vulnerability. Allow yourself to be vulnerable with others. Sharing your true self fosters deeper connections and creates an environment of trust. Embracing vulnerability is an act of courage that can lead to profound healing. 2. Celebrate your achievements. Acknowledge and celebrate your accomplishments, no matter how small. Take pride in your growth and the progress you've made on your journey. Celebrating achievements reinforces your sense of worth and motivates continued growth. 3. Live authentically. Make choices that align with your values and passions. Living authentically allows you to express your true self, free from the constraints of societal expectations. When you honor your authenticity, you inspire others to do the same. Conclusion: a journey of continuous growth. The journey of self-love and compassion is ongoing. It requires commitment, patience, and an openness to growth. As we embrace ourselves fully, shadows and all, we create a solid foundation for healing and transformation. In this final chapter, we have explored the importance of self-love and compassion as essential elements of shadow work. By nurturing our relationship with ourselves, we empower our journeys of self-discovery and create a life that reflects our authentic selves. As you continue on your journey, remember that you are worthy of love, healing, and growth. Embrace your story, honor your shadows, and step boldly into the light of your true self. Thank you for embarking on this journey through Born into Stories. May the insights gained from shadow work and the embrace of self-love guide you on your path of self-discovery and transformation. As you weave your narrative, remember that you are the author of your story, capable of creating a life that reflects your true essence.